Hello, everyone, and welcome to CarAlarm Reviews Monday Night Raw. My name is Alex,
And I'm Gavin.
and so we started the show with Roman Reigns coming out for his big announcement, which we talked about on the Money in the Bank review. Reigns basically says he can't be beaten one-on-one, despite Finn Balor beating him last year, and Rollins beating him in Money in the Bank.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. He's been beaten one-on-one several times. Not recently. No, Strowman beat him, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
So is this like just supposed to be like a little heel tease? He's
I
trying to tease
I
a
don't
little
know.
bit of heel.
I think
Uh,
she's being incredibly cocky.
I guess that is as much heel Roman Reigns as we're ever gonna get. So, whatever. He says after Great Balls of Fire, he is the number one contender for the Universal title because it's his yard and he can do what he wants. And
Uh,
he,
how does this? I didn't understand it. Like, did he just make himself number one contender?
I don't know, cause he didn't. I don't know how he would be number one contender. He hasn't really done much anything like he had the feud with Strowman that kind of ended out of nowhere because of the whole Strowman injury thing. I don't think he's really done anything. Didn't win the Fatal Five Way. I don't know how he's number one contender, but apparently they're going with it. So at SummerSlam, Roman Reigns is probably going to be in the main event
With Samoa Joe.
with Brock Lesnar. Gavin, don't listen. You can dream all you want, but you don't need to be delusional, kid.
I'm already delusional. Okay,
Okay.
Brock is not keeping the belt.
I, okay. We'll get into that in a little bit. Samoa Joe interrupts him. He comes out. They kind of just banter back and forth because Roman Reigns said he's just Joe to Roman. And Samoa is not in his name. And Joe basically says he's going to teach him his name. And he tries to get in the Coquina clutch after a little brawl, but Reigns gets out of it. Superman punches Joe. Joe rolls out, walks away. Um, and that's the end of that segment. And later on the night, it was promised a Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns match, which
Again.
I thought would be the main event. I'm
Yeah,
glad
me
it
too.
wasn't. It was a good match though. We'll get into that later. The next segment was Anderson and Gallows versus Team Extreme, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. There wasn't really anything noteworthy that I wrote down.
Except for, Team Extreme. They're they're always good.
Sure, yeah. The match was fine. There wasn't anything that special about it though. It was just kind of
I like
okay.
how Matt
It's a
Hardy
tag
still
match.
does the whole delete thing
Yeah,
every time.
he does. I wonder if he does it on purpose or if it's just like reflexes. He's just in his natural day-to-day thing now.
I think it's both.
uh, so yeah, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy win with the twist of fate and then a swanton from Jeff. That's it. Anderson and Gallows. I don't think they're ever coming back to the
No,
top. It's sad. They're good,
they really are.
but nope. Instead, we get Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews fighting the tag champs later on. But before that, a while before that, we get another Goldust video promo. It says that next week he'll deliver The Shattered Truth, his film he's been working on.
I'm really liking these
Me too.
R-Truth Goldust promo
I'm
things.
liking the Goldust ones a lot more though. R-Truth is fine, but Goldust is great. It really has shown how actually good he is.
Goldust has always been really good.
Yeah.
Always been interesting too.
Yeah. And I like Stardust too. I know that's not the most popular thing, but I really did like Stardust a lot. Even Cody, I think, didn't like Stardust. But after the Little Goldust promo, Elias Sampson cuts a promo, then sings, and then starts tuning his guitar because he realized that it needs to be tuned. So he tries to tune it, and the crowd's chanting, crowd chants. I don't remember exactly what they were chanting.
I couldn't understand it.
He was telling them to be quiet while he tuned his guitar, and that he can be here all night. Doesn't matter to him. Before Finn Balor's music hits, and he comes out, Then Samson just kind of backs down, gets out of the ring, and he enters a match with Bo Dallas. And he tells him Samson, he's gonna re-enter later, but
I like Elias Sampson. I like
I think he's fine.
I like his whole drifter singer type character deal.
Yeah, me too. You know what I would have liked when he debuted. he was well, not debuted, but he was kind of just backstage, and then people would see him every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
He'd just be in the background. I would have liked it if during like a brawl between two wrestlers, uh, someone bumps into him backstage, and then he just smacks him over the head with a guitar, and that's his debut. And then his first match is with whoever he hit with a guitar. I think that would have been cool.
I would have loved that.
So Finn Balor versus Bo Dallas. Surprisingly, uh, a match I liked a lot. Bo Dallas immediately just started wailing on Finn Balor as soon as he got into the ring. Balor didn't even get to take his jacket off. He just started beating him down, threw him to the outside, kneed him against the barricade outside.
Pretty hard.
Yeah, pretty hard too. Did you see that? Did you ever watch the? I think it was a Fatal 5-Way for the number one contendership, for the Cruiserweight Championship, when Austin Aries was first coming back. Austies.
I think so.
Tony Nese kneed Austin Aries' head through the barricade.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was amazing. I love that. Anyway, Balor eventually gets kind of back into the hang of things. But I was looking at Bo Dallas, and I guess later on tonight, maybe what I'm about to say is proven wrong. But Bo Dallas gonna join the Wyatt family, which is just Bray Wyatt now.
I would like to see that.
He's got a beard. He's got long hair, and if I'm correct, Bray Wyatt said he'd like to work with Bo, or maybe the other way around. But
that might be a pretty good team.
I'd be okay with that. But I think Bo Dallas is good. I do enjoy Bo Dallas wrestling. His match with Balor tonight I liked it a lot. It was very intense and fast paced. The entire thing.
Yeah, it was.
When Balor started getting control, you can tell he was kind of like, I'm gonna kill him now. He's made me angry. I'm gonna kill him. And then he hits his little drop kick in the corner after a sling blade, and then goes for the coup de grace and gets the win. We head back to the commentators when Corey Graves gets a little ear message and then leaves. And that's all leading up to a thing later on.
I didn't understand that at the time, like why he left.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, are we going to cruiserweights and Corey Graves is leaving?
You missed a couple of weeks where, or maybe it was just 1 week where they were developing the Enzo and Cass thing.
I missed 1 week.
Yeah. Corey's been involved a lot. Kind of low key, but yeah, it's been a thing. And the WWE 2K18 trailer, they showed that. What'd you think of that?
I love it.
Me too.
It's just phenomenal. It doesn't even have AJ Styles in it.
No, it doesn't. It has Seth freaking Rollins, and I think it fits him really well. The whole smashing everything, making your own legacy. He said he wants to be the future, the torch holder for the future. I really like it. I think it's a really good idea to have a new guy on the cover of a video game.
Especially one as athletic as Seth.
Especially one. Well, the best wrestler on Raw and on SmackDown. Arguably on SmackDown because of AJ. But you have Lesnar and Brock and Cena and Austin, all those guys getting the covers for the past few years. It feels really refreshing to have Seth. Anyone would have been okay, but Seth is the best choice, I think.
This year he is.
Yeah. And like I said on our Money in the Bank review, I'm paying for it. Seth is on the cover, I'm paying for it.
Next year we get Bo Dallas on the cover.
If you know what? No. No, I'm not. I didn't bash Bo Dallas, but I don't want him on the cover. I don't think he deserves it. If anyone, next it should be like
Kurt Hawkins.
Honestly, Roman Reigns. Honestly, I thought Roman would have been on this cover, but it's Seth, and we can all rejoice in that. So next we have did I think I missed something here. Oh no, okay. So, Kurt Angle was seen backstage talking on the phone with Corey Graves when he interrupts and says he needs to talk to Kurt Angle. But right before they can talk in private, Enzo and Cass show up and they tell Kurt Angle he needs to do something about the attacks that have been happening. And Kurt Angle says by the end of the night he will have a answer to who's been attacking Enzo and Cass. And then Rollins comes out to promote the game in the ring. And while he's talking, Bray Wyatt interrupts. Bray says it's time to make a sacrifice and heads to the ring himself before getting jumped with a crossbody from the top rope from Rollins. And Rollins busts his cheek open.
Yeah, I saw
Pretty
that.
bad.
He just had like a freaking gash right here. I'm like, oh my dear.
Every time they showed the replay, I would look, and it looked like he hit his cheek directly on the forehead of Bray Wyatt. Maybe his eyebrow or something, but it looked like his forehead.
Ow.
Yeah, it did not look.
It didn't look like he cared about it though.
I mean, I saw him kind of stretching his cheek. I'm sure he felt it. He's like, "What's that on my cheek?" It's a big old cut and a lot of blood. So that's really it. That Rollins walks up the ramp and Bray lays down against the steps. Probably his mouth was bleeding too. Did you notice that?
I thought that was Seth's blood. That's what it looked like.
I don't think he bled that much, because Bray was spitting blood out.
Could have wiped on.
I think he just drank it.
I don't.
I think Bray might have bit his tongue or his lip or something. I don't know.
Like that whole little bit there.
Me too.
It looked really good.
It made her crossbody look deadly to both of them. Let's see. Yeah, Corey comes back to commentary and he says Kurt Angle's the greatest GM, blah blah blah. He's just praising him. And then the next segment we get is Elias Sampson attacking Finn Balor backstage during an interview before Devon Dudley runs up and separates the two.
That was Devon?
Yeah, that was Devon Dudley.
Did not even recognize
He still works there. I'm not sure what he does, but yeah, he still does. He still does things, you know.
Guess now he's security.
No, I don't know what he is. Maybe I don't know. Who knows? Finley would be back there backing him up too. I don't think he's security. He's wearing a purple suit.
I don't know. He's a bouncer. I don't know.
A bouncer in WWE. Okay. Next we have Tozawa versus TJP. Akira Tozawa enters. Then TJP enters. And then Titus O'Neil enters. Because, yay.
Titus brand.
The Titus brand. Titus O'Neil comes in and says, the one thing, a match of this magnitude, I'm not sure what magnitude he's talking about, because it seemed like no one in the crowd cared at all about this. And honestly, I didn't either. Even though I know both of them are really good wrestlers, it's sad that I don't care at all. But I still love Akira Tozawa. He says a match of this magnitude needs the hype that it deserves, and needs the brand that it deserves, which is the Titus brand. He announces both of them. He announces Tozawa with a lot more pizzazz. And the match just starts. Tozawa wins with a top rope senton, which I guess is his finisher. It looks good. I like it.
It looks painful.
Yeah, it does. With Titus at ringside the whole time cheering him on. But he didn't really get involved like he did with Cruz. He just kind of hung out there and pat him on the back every now and then. Titus congratulates Tozawa and announces that Cruz and Titus will be in a tag team match against the tag team champions in a 9-title match, of course. Later on in the night. Neville interrupts and tells Tozawa to tread carefully. Oh, I forgot to mention Neville was at what's that? The commentary table.
Yeah.
That's a place.
He wasn't really at it. He was more like over to the side.
Yeah,
he
he's
stole someone's chair.
Yeah, he didn't have a headset or anything on. He just kind of sat there. Yeah, Neville threatens Tozawa and Titus threatens Neville, and then that's it. R-Truth has another video promo afterwards.
I didn't really understand. I didn't really pay attention much to it.
Me neither. But sorry, I have the yawns. It's pretty early for us in the morning. Just trust us. I don't think you need to know the time. It's just It's early for me, at least. After that, The Miz is seen backstage with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. He's trying to convince them, like he did Heath Slater last week, to join his entourage, which currently is, again, just The Miz.
I don't understand why he didn't try to recruit Rhino also. Because,
Rhino wasn't having anything of Miz. Every time he would say to something to Slater, Rhino would just be like, he's got to take part.
But Miz just tried to recruit Slater. If he tried to recruit Rhino also, it might have went a little different.
Yeah, I guess so. But maybe he just wanted the social outcast behind him, you know? Get Slater.
Maybe.
Axel and Bo Dallas. Who was the other one? Adam Rose?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, get him back, even though he got fired. No one remembers that. I think he got fired. If I'm wrong, who cares? So they think about it. They don't say no. They don't say yes. They're just kind of left like, because Miz basically says, "You're nothing without anything, and you need something, and I'm that something."
He's got a point there.
Yeah, he does. Next match is Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. I think at the maybe 1 hour and 40-minute mark, which I didn't expect. I thought it would be.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be the main event.
Yeah, I thought it would close. I wrote down one of my favorite parts of the match. My favorite part. It was a good match overall, the whole thing. But Samoa Joe was down, and Reigns got into the corner, and Joe was kind of getting up all groggy, and then Reigns cocked his forearm, and he went for it, and as soon as Samoa Joe saw Roman Reigns standing in the corner, he just went down and rolled out of the ring as fast as he possibly could. It was hilarious, and I loved it. During the match, Reigns hits a spear, and Joe gets close enough to the ropes to put his foot on it during the cover, and then rolls out of the ring and gets back in just for a 10 count. And while both men are down, we hear some ambulance sirens going off. And on the big screen, the doors fly open to the ambulance, and Braun Strowman comes out, making his return.
I was happy.
Me too.
I like hearing the Braun!
Yeah, he just yells it. I dig it. So Strowman is distracting Reigns just by existing on the big Tron, and Joe gets in the Coquita clutch, and pretty quickly, and it looked like Reigns was a dying fish. Reigns was getting killed. Reigns get passed out because, of course, just like John Cena, Roman Reigns isn't gonna tap out.
Honestly, I don't think anybody taps out to a chokehold.
People tap out to. I know you don't watch that much MMA, but people tap out to a chokehold.
Why?
Because when you have a chokehold in, you know that it's in and you're gonna pass out, so you tap out. Why would you risk injury? Because you can. That is in. You can.
But have you ever been like almost put to sleep and then not?
Yeah.
Go out. It sucks worse than actually getting put to sleep.
Well, you don't wait till you're almost put to sleep. You wait until it's locked in and you can't do anything about it. Then you tap. You tap when you know you lost. That's the whole point of it.
I still don't like it when people tap to a chokehold.
Okay. Regardless. He leaves a little dead Reigns in the ring. Joe leaves, and then Strowman enters with his glorious music. I didn't mean that to be a Bobby Roode pun, but maybe if you took it that way. He slams Reigns kind of like a choke slamish thing, and then challenges him to an ambulance match at Great Balls of Fire. I'm not really sure if it was a challenge. I think it just said, "I'll see you at Great Balls of Fire in an ambulance match."
It was a challenge.
Okay. Does Reigns have to accept it, or is it just happening now?
I guess it's just gonna happen.
Because they just showed the promo for it. They're like, "Oh wow, Braun Strowman making matches." Regardless, I'm looking forward to it. I think if sometimes they have ambulance matches that don't really make sense with the feud, but this one I think does. Strowman flipped over an ambulance on Reigns, or with Reigns in it. Sorry, not on Reigns. That would have probably actually killed him. And Strowman got injured, so I think this warrants an ambulance match.
I've been liking the whole Strowman Reigns thing going on.
Me too.
It's made Braun Strowman look incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Like the only two that can destroy him are Joe and Lesnar.
Yeah.
Because Joe destroys
mean-
anybody, and Lesnar's just Lesnar.
When's Great Balls of Fire? The 28th, right?
I think so, yeah.
So we'll have some Great Balls of Fire predictions next week. But who do you think? Who do you think's gonna win this one?
Between Strowman and Reigns?
Yeah.
I think Strowman's going to win.
You think Strowman's gonna win clean, or someone's gonna interfere? What?
Nope,
Shield
he's
reunites.
just going to destroy Reigns.
The Shield reunites and powerbomb Strowman through an ambulance.
I wish.
He's not destroying Reigns. That's not happening.
As much as I like Reigns, I want it to happen.
Okay. Well, hate to break your heart. That's never happening. At least no time soon. We're gonna be stuck here in this Roman Reigns limbo for a while.
Just bring back Super Cena.
Especially because he's gonna be number one contender, and also Reigns is the second coming of Super Cena. So, he's gonna be number one contender after Great Balls of Fire. So why would he lose to Strowman? Or maybe you could say that because he'll be number one contender, he can take the loss. So, I don't really know. Let's just move on. We can go on forever about Reigns and his whole ordeal. So next we have Miz TV with special guest Maurice. Miz is in the ring with two bears and a large box. I think everyone could assume it was the clock from a few weeks ago, but the two bears one bear had a sign that said "I'm sorry," the other one said "Please forgive me." And Miz introduces Maurice, and when Maurice is in the ring, he says he spent all his nights on the couch in the garage instead, watching YouTube videos, learning how to build his grandfather clock back to fix it. He apologized to Maurice in a very heartfelt apology. I was kind of hoping that they would just make up and be good now, and Miz and Maurice can get some entourage members. But that's not quite what happened, because Ambrose interrupts right before they kiss, even though they kind of technically did kiss because their lips did touch, I guess.
A little bit.
Ambrose comes down, and right when he enters the ring, Miz shoves Maurice right in front of him. She was holding a glass of, I'm not sure what, I didn't look at what he poured in there, but...
He said it was her favorite champagne, but I'm pretty sure it was just sparkling cider.
Yeah. Okay, well, he shoved Maurice in front of him, and all her sparkling cider went right into her face, and she's obviously upset. Miz is trying to apologize, and in anger, Miz runs after Dean Ambrose. Ambrose just moves a little bit, and Miz runs straight into the grandfather clock, breaking it again. And Maurice leaves in absolute disgust and frustration. Anything?
I kind of was wishing that Ambrose was in the box instead of the grandfather clock.
Not me, because I think that because they did that already with Rollins. You remember on the Christmas episode? I think was it the Christmas episode of Raw.
I think so.
So let's see. Yeah. Okay. So after Maurice leaves, Dean Ambrose tries to get a dirty deed on Miz. Miz gets out of the ring, and the two bears jump Dean Ambrose, take off their masks. Excuse me.
And it's Bo Dallas, and I forgot the other guy's name.
Curtis Axel. You really forgot his name?
I did. He's not. He hasn't been important ever. So.
Okay. Well, yeah. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel have officially joined Miz's entourage. And Miz comes back in the ring. Dallas and Axel give Ambrose to the Miz, and he delivers his skull-crushing finale, and they stand tall. Which honestly, two grown men in bear costumes, and the Miz holding up the Intercontinental Championship's a pretty terrifying team, if I do say so myself.
It is, thinking about it.
Angry men in bear costumes, and then a man in a very nice suit with an Intercontinental title that's just mad. Because he was very mad at the end of that segment. He did not look any sort of
happy.
Yeah, he wasn't going to be happy the rest of that day, it seemed. So next up, we have Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil versus Sheamus and Cesaro. And I didn't expect much from this match.
I didn't either because, Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, and Cruz too. Cruz is really good, but he doesn't really have a character, and he's kind of boring. His character.
He's got a smile though.
He does have that. He does have that, and he's got a Titus and a Titus brand. But I didn't expect much, and there wasn't much. Sheamus and Cesaro beat him. I think maybe 10 minutes.
But Sheamus and Star were good as always.
Yeah, they were. I like Sheamus and Cesaro. I liked them since they had that one little video package with him in the bar.
I loved
That was cool. I like when they do stuff like that. It doesn't always have to be in ring, in arena stuff, you know. They won with a double team white noise. The only way I really know how to describe the move. It was just a white noise when Cesaro came down and kind of pushed him down with Sheamus. And then we had the only women's segment of the night. It wasn't good either, in my opinion. It was Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. The match didn't go on for long before Alexa Bliss enters to go to commentary, and not long afterwards, Emma comes out, confronts Alexa Bliss, chases her down to the ring, and Bliss hides behind Nia Jax, and Nia puts Bliss in front of her. She's having none of it. And Emma goes for a kick. Bliss moves out of the way, kicks Nia Jax. Basically, everything just kind of unfolds there. They all start brawling. Bliss and Emma jump Banks. Dana Brooke and Mickie James come out. And the same brawl from last week happens.
until Bailey comes out.
Until Bailey comes out. And she returns to join the brawl. And it ends with all the faces, Dana Brooke, Mickie James, Bailey, and Sasha Banks standing tall. Nothing.
Even though Nia Jax kind of destroyed everybody for a while.
Yeah, for a little while she did.
I like how Nia Jax is seen as that powerful. Yeah. Just throws everybody else around.
You know, honestly though, I think Tamina looks stronger than Nia Jax.
Well, that's because Nia Jax is on Raw.
Yep, and that's because honestly, it seems like they don't know what at all to do with any of the women. They put them all in the same segment, and it's a nothing segment with just every single woman. It's sad. You can have two segments. There's just one storyline, and they're all in the same storyline.
But no, we can't put them all in two different segments, dude. Didn't you know that's not how it works?
There's not enough time on the 3-hour show.
No, there's just not enough time.
There was only one cruiserweight segment. I mean, you can count. No, that was the only one.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yo, I don't care. I don't care anymore.
I do.
Kurt Angle comes out, finally, to address Enzo and Cass and who their attacker has been. This is the main event of the show. What you gonna say?
I kind of knew who it was when Kurt Angle came out.
Yeah, I thought either there would be a surprise return or it would be who it was revealed to be. So, and I didn't really think there would be a surprise return. Kurt Angle says he will not let Raw devolve into danger, which is weird.
I don't like how all the time it's just like, no, we're trying to make this a safe work environment for everybody to beat the living mess out of each other.
Well, that, and I mean, to go off of that, Strowman versus Reigns, the entire feud has been nothing but just a mess, just destroying them all around the arena. And then last week you had Joe and Lesnar, and I know the locker room came to pull them apart, but if you really wanted to prevent stuff, you wouldn't have had them go in the same ring. You know, it doesn't seem like that really. And our Angle said last week, if you have a problem, go solve it yourself. But yet he doesn't want people fighting without being in a wrestling match.
We gotta do what the British do.
What's that?
We gotta sit down at our little tables with our teacups and our carpets.
I don't think that's.
And we gotta talk.
I don't think that's what the British do, Gavin. So Kurt Angle calls Enzo and Cass out to stand there while he brings out the possible candidates for attacker.
Which wasn't very many, surprisingly.
It was just 3. It was the Revival and the Big Show. Kurt Angle asked Big Show if he threatened. Oh, excuse me. Kurt Angle asks Show, and then he threatens Enzo and Cass and says he doesn't need it Raw anymore. Big Show being really defensive here, and he just kind of leaves. I don't know what this means for Big Show. I don't care. Joe's cool. He's been cool over the last few weeks, but I don't need him on my TV.
I don't think anybody needs him on their TV.
No.
He just needs to go home.
Yeah. Or, just do house shows, Big Show. Just do house shows.
Just don't break the rope again.
It's a one-time thing. Kurt Angle asks the Revival, and Revival says, we have a lot of, what's the word?
Animosity?
No, what? Why?
I'm confused what you're talking about.
They have a lot of, people to back them up.
Fans?
To say where they were at times.
Alibis.
There you go. Thank you. Look at that.
You're the one trying to come up the word.
Alright, anyway.
My psychic here.
Kurt Angle says, due to their alibis, he believes they are legit, and the Revival is clear. When Corey Graves says he thinks he could be of some assistance to Kurt Angle, he questions Cass. Cass, he has okay answers to the questions. The first question Graves asked, I believe, was about the punch to the back of the head, where he said he had a baseball-sized bump, and then he said that the doctors didn't have any record of even seeing Cass that day. Cass said it was the EMTs in the arena, not the WWE staff.
It does make sense.
Yeah, sure. Graves, he's like, yeah, alright, fine, whatever. I don't remember the second question he asked. I didn't write it down.
I don't remember.
But he asks about, next, he asks about Cass's attack the other week. And then he says he has some security cam footage he'd like to show everyone. And they pull it on the Megatron, Titantron, and Megatron's a transformer.
It's now called the Megatron.
Okay. So he brings it up on the Megatron. And it shows Cass very suspiciously kind of walking around backstage in the little area he was found in. He moves some stuff around, and he lays down holding the back of his head. In the exact same position that Enzo Amore and the cameraman found him in just last week. Cass is kind of stunned by this. He didn't expect it. Then he says, yes, I attacked you, Enzo Amore. And he rants for him for a good while. He, pretty emotionally. Enzo was crying. Did you see that?
Yeah, it
good.
Kind of broke my heart.
That was really good, yeah. Cass said he's been annoyed by Enzo for the longest time, for years, and he just wanted to slap him. And when he finally got to hit him, it felt really good. And he decided to fake his injuries just to see how smart Enzo was. If he was as dumb as he looked, Cass said he was dumber than he looked. And then he just booted him right in the face. And left.
Everyone hated it.
And well, I liked it a lot, the segment.
I did too.
I like that team though, so I don't know how I feel yet about them breaking up, kind of like DIY. DIY though, I really didn't want them to break up.
just go into that one.
Alright, well, that happens. Angle's kind of just like, hey, don't, Angle pulls Cass off a little bit. Enzo's left. What's next for Enzo?
I don't think anything.
Nothing?
I think he'll go on for a few weeks. They'll have a feud.
Cass will win.
Yeah, Cass will win, and you won't see much of Enzo anymore.
Honestly, probably not. Maybe, you know what? Put him with Carmella. Bring him to SmackDown, because they were all in NXT together. Cass, Carmella, and Enzo. I don't know if they still are, but Cass and Carmella were dating in real life. So, put Enzo and Carmella back together. Give Enzo someone, I think. Because as great as
Fire James Ellsworth.
Well, there you go. Look, Now, this probably, maybe I'll change my mind on this after I say it, but you could have a short feud
One day
between
feud.
be, between Enzo Amore and James Ellsworth. You could have a pay-per-view payoff, I think. There's enough Enzo to have a pay-per-view payoff, and obviously Enzo would win. And then, Carmella can go with Enzo. They could turn face. Carmella can be face again. And she could be Miss Money in the Bank. Still, maybe, sure. I don't know. Really? That's all I got.
I like that idea. I like Carmella. I like Enzo. Let's do it. I don't like James Ellsworth, so get rid of him.
Cass is good. What do you think's Cass is for next? He's got no more catchphrases or slogans.
Big Show. He'll fight Big Show.
After Enzo?
Yeah. And then he can go on to
Strowman.
Yeah, he can fight Strowman. He can fight Wyatt. I would say Baron Corbin, but he's on SmackDown.
Well, also, Cass probably won't be faced for a while. Yeah. So he probably won't face Bray Wyatt over Braun Strowman. Even though Strowman gets more pop than a lot of people on the roster. Most of the faces, I'd say. Except for maybe Rollins and Joe, who's not even really face, but
he might as well Balor. Be.
He could fight Balor. Sure. I don't really have any interest in that on paper, but maybe if I saw it on TV, I'd like it more. Let's see what else we got. I'm not sure the full card for Great Balls of Fire, but seems like I think it's going to be a good pay-per-view. I really like the little graphics they have through the show.
I don't understand kind of the theme, I guess, for it. You've got Great Balls of Fire, and you have the 80s, 90s type.
I think that's the theme.
Diner
I think the theme is the song Great Balls of Fire and when the song was made. Because you have the old cars, you have the old diner, you have the drive-in movie theater, you have all that stuff. I think that's a theme. It's just the song and the year that the song, or the era the song came out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I still don't like the name.
I like it. I like the logo.
I want someone to shoot a fireball, though. Let's make that a thing.
Did you see? Oh, you mean like Kane did that one time?
Yes, let's bring Kane back to fight to just shoot a fireball. Let's do it.
I don't remember who shot it at. I think it was Shane McMahon. Great Balls of Fire. Just searching it on the internet now brings up a WWE. So, see if I can find the original logo. It looks like a penis. There it is. It's two. It looks different now on Monday Night Raw. They added a lot more fire. But it's two balls and then a long flaming like sword tail, sure, yeah, that's the proper word, coming off of it. Yeah, sure. I don't know how that didn't see. This is what it looks like now. It's the two balls. Now the lettering's a little bit different color, and the fire surrounds the entirety of the letters instead of just the word balls, which is hilarious to look at. And not how could that go past everyone? There's so many.
I think it's kind of like that joke they did with the Little Mermaid original VHS cover.
Is that confirmed to be a joke, or is that just?
It was supposed to be a joke to the editor.
Yeah.
To put the.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We have that VHS tape.
We do too, somewhere. But yeah, it was supposed to be a joke, and it wasn't supposed to get released. The editor was supposed to find it, and he didn't. So.
Oh, so it was meant for the editor to see?
Yes, it was supposed to be a prank.
Well, I don't think that's what this is at all. I think this is just an example.
I don't think creative team cared enough at the time.
I think it's just an example of a little bit of bad logo design. The new one looks fine, I think. It looks good. It's simple. It's just fire and two balls, and it says Great Balls of Fire. I don't know what else someone would expect. Honestly, the first logo looks good, but you just can't look past. You can't look past the balls and the tail, if you will. Let's see. Anything else to talk about? We got something, I'm sure. Great Balls of Fire, I think it's on the 28th. Let's see. I'm on pictures.
Oh, let's go back to the.
July 9th, it says. Go back to what?
I was gonna say go back and it said it on there.
Oh. Okay. Yes, it's July 9th, so we have what? 2 more weeks?
I think so, a week or two, yeah.
Okay, so our predictions may not be next week. Whenever we get the full card, we'll make the predictions.
I'm looking forward to the matches.
Me too, especially Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. That's gonna be
hoping
so
that's
good.
a long match.
Me too, but I have no doubt that Joe's losing.
I think Joe's gonna win. I think he's gonna get in that coquina clutch and destroy Lesnar.
I wish I could say I agree with you, but I don't at all.
It's either that or I want at SummerSlam Finn Balor to beat Brock Lesnar
At SummerSlam?
At SummerSlam. That's the next time he's defending the title, anyways.
Against Roman Reigns.
Nope.
You forgot about that already, didn't you? Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
Sorry. He is not number one.
I don't want to ruin you. He is.
I refuse to believe he's actually number one contender.
You don't think? Oh, you don't think it'll happen?
No, I think Kurt Angle's gonna make him fight for it.
I don't think. And you don't think he's gonna win? He's Roman Reigns.
So
this isn't Balor's debut anymore. Balor's not gonna beat Reigns if it comes down to that. It's not happening.
Braun Strowman.
What about him?
Braun Strowman's gonna kick the crap out of him at Great Balls of Fire. He'll get injured again. Balor can beat him. If you want to go that route.
The last time Reigns had a lingering injury from a pay-per-view, he still almost beat. Who was it he fought after their last fight? After Strowman and Reigns' match. Was it Balor?
I don't know.
I don't remember who it was, but I remember him almost winning despite his several injuries. But you
I still refuse to believe Roman Reigns is actually number one contender.
He's not yet. After Great Balls of Fire, he said.
I still refuse to believe that. I think he's gonna have to fight for it.
I wish I could say I agree with you. We have anything else?
No, I don't.
Alright, oh, you know what? We can do some, what things do you want in the next WB game? Just quickly, we don't need to go too into it, otherwise we'll just make a video about it.
Besides Shinsuke? Not...
Besides wrestlers, like mechanics and stuff you want. I would like to be able to double reversals.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool. And you have to go into a lot more reversal management, too.
I want there to be less brokenness in the game.
That's never going to happen. Oh, but, so supposedly, they're not making it for 360 and PS3 this time. Meaning, I would assume that they don't have to spend as much time trying to adapt them. And hopefully, that means they could put more into this game. I really want the story designer from a few years ago. Are you familiar with those?
I don't. I am not.
Okay, I'll have to show them to you. Or we could play it on the channel one day. Basically, you go in, you have a calendar. It's like universe mode. But you have 120% control. You can put segments. You had cutscenes. You had a list of probably about 100 or so cutscenes. And you could put the cutscenes in. You could add text, dialogue from each superstar, or dialogue from the commentators, or dialogue from...
Wait a minute, commentators didn't say the same three things?
No, you add text. There's no audio dialogue. You can type in whatever you want them to say. And you can make your own story around that. You can set a match, and you can set who's supposed to win the match, and if that person doesn't win, then they fail, and you can't pass. So it's like you're making your own 2K showcase mode. You're making your own story mode.
That is awesome.
And you can upload it, and people can download your story, and it was really cool. It was my favorite thing the WWE games have ever done. If you put work into it, you could make really good stories, and a lot of people made some really, really cool stuff. Sadly, the 2K14 servers are down, so those are gone forever. because I didn't download any, but it was very cool time. I really hope they bring those back, and they still have all the cutscenes, I know, because some of them are in the universe mode. Some of them are used in the universe mode. So I'm sure they have all the motion capture or whatever for the cutscenes. They just need to incorporate them in this game. And I'm not saying it's easy. I just want it to happen. I'm trying to convince
It's a
myself.
thing that can't happen, though.
Yeah, I think so. They said they wanted to put it back in, but I know it's going to take a while. I think I'm just trying to convince myself that it'll happen. Hopefully with the more time they probably have, maybe they can put that in.
Let's not make this like Mortal Kombat X, though.
What's that? I didn't play that.
It's a game.
Yeah, I know it's a game.
Okay, they kind of delayed it for like. It was supposed to come out in like, I think July or August the year it was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
Then it got moved to December. Then it got moved again. And then they completely cut it off for 360 and PS3.
Oh.
And then they moved it again, and then they released it.
Jesus.
It was awful. And the game isn't even that worth it.
Well, that's the thing with the WWE games, though. I can't speak for that because I haven't played Mortal Kombat, but they make them out once a year. So I think they just have a limit of things they can do, and then when their time's almost up, they gotta be like, okay, yeah, that's it. We gotta start polishing things and get it ready. Which is disappointing because if they would wait one more year, they could have such a great game, polished too, without as many glitches, preferably, ideally. Because the game glitches every like third match. There's a big glitch.
And they're hilarious, but they can also be very annoying.
Yeah, they can. They're hilarious when no stakes are on the line. When they're not game breaking. When you have a glitch, you're in a ladder match, say, and it's an intense ladder match, because sometimes those games get intense. It's an intense ladder match, nothing too serious, but intense enough for you to want to win, and then the game just glitches to where none of the ladders work, or you're stuck in the air floating, or you're on the ground and you can't move. I'll give you an example right now of a glitch that I experienced yesterday. I was playing my universe mode. Austin Aries is world champion, and Daniel Bryan has just lost the belt due to Austin Aries' briefcase. He cashed in the Money in the Bank. So Austin Aries and Bryan were set for a match on Monday night, the next night after the pay-per-view. Daniel Bryan came out, and while Bryan was coming out, Aries was at ringside, and I broke in, and I attacked Daniel Bryan, threw him out of the ring, and I was attacking for a little while. And while you're attacking him, they're wearing the entrance gear until there's a little cutscene to the crowd, and then they take the entrance gear off.
Yeah.
Well, during that little crowd cutscene, I went to the highlight reel, and I was just looking at stuff to see how it. I was just interested in how it transitioned, because they don't show you the character take off the shirt, and obviously they don't, because that's a lot of
animation.
And physics going into that. So I just wanted to see what it looked like to transition from the person with the shirt to without the shirt, Daniel Bryan specifically. And I did, and it was just Bryan laying down, and then he just appeared up without his shirt. But that's not what I'm talking about, because I went away from the highlight reel, came back to the game, Bryan was outside, he stood up, and I was attacking him, and I was like, this is weird. Bryan's not fighting back. I played for about 30 minutes. Daniel Bryan would not reverse, fight back, fight submissions, or kick out.
Are you serious?
He was broken. And I was playing against the computer on Legend. He is broken. I broke Daniel Bryan. I'm gonna try it again to do that and see if I can do that at will. Yeah, I tried to get him a critical injury, but I had that misunderstood. So he got a minor injury in his head. Yeah, it was.
Don't break his head again, dude.
Yeah,
he already can't wrestle.
No, listen, I realized the irony of the situation, and I was like, okay, we need to stop this. This is uncomfortable now. Now that I realize I'm giving Daniel Bryan head injuries on a video game. It was disappointing, though, because I wanted to have a good match with Aries and Bryan. Nope. I just broke him for a while.
I'm still mad that Rick Steiner's women's champion.
Who?
Rick Steiner?
Oh, yeah, Rick Steiner won the women's championship on our universe mode due to get this, a WWE 2K17 glitch. That never happens.
I'm still incredibly mad about that.
That definitely didn't happen either. That's just a little technical difficulty, aka dropping a USB flash drive. Do we have anything else to talk about?
I don't.
Me neither. I think we covered the game for the first time. Maybe one day we can make some videos on 2K18 if you want to do that.
That'd be good to do.
Good to do. Okay. We're gonna close out.
Peace.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you on SmackDown reviews. CarAlarm.